Closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.
So, I don't know if y'all have heard recently, but there's been some chatter about the Dallas Mavericks maybe shopping Kristaps Porzingis. I don't know how valid the claims are, but I thought we would take a look at it and just see the possibility of it, and maybe go over a few scenarios where it may or may not make sense. So, the main thing is just because of the injury concerns Kristaps Porzingis. Obviously, he's been getting injured a lot over the course of his career, and it's a valid concern that he may continue to be injured. But at the same time, I think they should give him more of a chance because he could be like the perfect fit beside Luka Doncic. Yes, there's defensive concerns as well, and he's not the strongest person for a 7'3" center or power forward, whichever you want to play him at. But at the same time, I just feel like he's the perfect offensive weapon next to Luka Doncic, and I feel like they'd be a great duo in the future. But with the fact that there has been rumors that they may be shopping him, I want to go over why they would maybe trade him and why maybe they wouldn't. And real quick, guys, if you're new here, I'm Azad Sports. I make daily NBA content, so if that's something you may be interested in, think about subscribing. I definitely appreciate it a lot. It helps the channel grow a lot, and just make me happy. So yeah, just go ahead and do it. And if you're a returning subscriber, I definitely appreciate you a lot. Means a lot to me, for real, man, for real. But let's go ahead and get to this video. So first, I'm gonna talk about why I think the Mavericks will keep him. Well, like I said, Porzingis is an offensive weapon, man. Like, there's not too many people who can comfortably shoot from the logo, and especially not too many 7-footers who can shoot from the logo, much less 7'3". I mean, this guy has unlimited range. We saw it time and time again. He's not scared to shoot the ball from anywhere, whether it be, like I said, from 30 feet out, from the corner, from the wing, mid-range turnaround, whatever type of jump shot it is, he's doing it. Now, he's not the best defender, not the best post player. Honestly, some guards make him look kind of weak in the post. But I still think he can be a dangerous pick and pop option with Luka Doncic, especially as they develop chemistry and all that together. And I just don't think it's time to give up on him yet. Yeah, he's had a couple bad injuries, and then he's been knick-knacked here and there this season. But we also thought Joel Embiid was going to be an injury-riddled career player, not really make it that far. He's about to win MVP possibly this year. And he hasn't had that much injury concerns over the past 3-4 years. We thought Rose was done for at one point. He never returned to the same player he was before, but he hasn't got really injured in years, honestly. So just because you get injured bad to start with doesn't mean you're always going to get injured. So if he's still playing at a star level, I don't really see why they would give up this early on him, but I still think it's worth exploring what they could get out of it and why it would make sense for them to do it. But that brings me into my next point, which is the biggest reason why they might want the trading. So if they really do think he's injury prone, there's no hope, they just want to be aggressive, or maybe not even no hope, but they don't want to take their chances, they want to get rid of him. They're like, okay, let's give up while we still have some value for him. Okay. Well, there's one big benefit of doing that. If you trade Kristaps Porzingis this season, you will have 2 max contract slots in the 2021 offseason. That means you can sign 2 max players, pairing with Luka Doncic, and then you'll be set. Now, given a lot of players who are supposed to be in 2021 offseason have already signed extensions or long-term deals, so it's not going to be as high of a free agent market as it was before. But there's still some players there. Victor Oladipo, to name one. I know Kawhi Leonard's still going to be there. Hadn't really looked over the free agent market, but I believe Kyle Lowry too. So there's going to be some names, man. And if they could pair him with Luka Doncic, I mean, and get something back from Kristaps Porzingis, that would be great. But at the same time, the same concerns they have about Kristaps Porzingis being injured, being injury prone, maybe not being as good as he once was, all this other stuff, maybe not being that great on defense, the other teams trading for him have the same concerns and aren't going to give up like a humongous package for him. So they're going to be taking back a little less than you might want for a player of Porzingis' caliber at his absolute peak. But I've come up with a few trades that we can at least go over and assess, why it might make sense for them to do it. So oddly enough, the first team I thought of when I thought of a team trading for Kristaps Porzingis is the Portland Trail Blazers, and they've been pretty damn good this season, especially when you consider the time missed by CJ McCollum, Yusuf Nurkic, Zach Collins, they've been one of the better teams in the Western Conference, even with all those injuries. And it's kind of like that a lot of times for them. You think, oh, when they come back, you know, they're going to be a full squad and they might be able to contend. And I just don't see it with this squad. They've been wanting a third star for a really long time. And there's been questions if Yusuf Nurkic could be that guy. But honestly, he's had injury concerns too. And I just don't think he's on the borderline. He's like a borderline star, all-star, but he's not quite there. So if they could make a trade for Kristaps Porzingis and actually finally get that third star, yes, it would be a gamble, but CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard aren't getting any younger, and why not go ahead and gamble for it? So a trade I came up with, it's going to be on the screen right here. It's Yusuf Nurkic, Derrick Jones Jr., Anthony Simons, and a 2022 first-round pick, top 3 protected, for Porzingis. Now, don't take this in terms of that's exactly what I want the trade to be. You can switch things up. Maybe you take Simons out. Maybe you take the pick out. Maybe you add some more. I don't know. But in terms of just a fit for the Portland Trailblazers, I think this would be absolutely outstanding. I mean, we're talking about a lineup of Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, Robert Covington, Kristaps Porzingis, and then really whoever you want to go at for the power forward spot. Because I'm pretty sure Derrick Jones Jr. starts right now, but you know, you can start Melo. Who cares who you start, man? At that point, you have a good 4 right there. The last guy is just going to be extra butter on the cake, or whatever you want to call it, man. I think that would be a great move for them, and I think that's something they should definitely think about. Like I said, don't take the exact move to heart, but just something in terms of around Yusuf Nurkic and then some extra people to make the salary work, I think would be a great trade for them. And the next team I think should trade for him is the Golden State Warriors. Now, I'm not as confident about this one as I am the Trailblazers, but I at least wanted to play with it. So, what the Warriors for getting this trade would be Kristaps Porzingis and Josh Richardson. So they get 2 players back, and they'd be giving up 2 players plus a pick, which would be Andrew Wiggins, James Wiseman, and the Minnesota pick for first-round pick for this year. Now let's go over this. So if the Warriors did this, they would have a lineup next year. Because I'm just going to go ahead and go next year. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kelly Oubre. They would also have Josh Richardson, Draymond Green, Kristaps Porzingis. I mean, we're talking about a stacked lineup. Jeez, man. I mean, I don't know who would be able to stop that. The Warriors just have another super team at that point. And, you know, getting Josh Richardson back in that deal is actually very, very critical to me. Because, you know, if they're giving up Wiseman and Andrew Wiggins, they're going to need another shooter out there. And who better than Josh Richardson? Well, there's a lot better. But still, he's a pretty solid player. So, the one thing for them, or actually there's 2 things. You know, they're probably fine with giving up Andrew Wiggins. And even giving up James Wiseman when they're getting compensated with getting Josh Richardson and Kristaps back, maybe they can live with that. But the hard thing to follow with this will be the Minnesota pick. Now, like I said, don't take these trades exactly to heart. They can switch things up if they wanted to. Maybe not include the pick. Maybe it's Wiggins and Wiseman. But I think that wouldn't be quite enough for the Josh Richardson and Porzingis pairing, which is why I would want to throw in that Minnesota pick. But maybe they just throw in some of their own first-round picks. Who knows? Who knows, man? All right, and the next team I have is the Chicago Bulls. And in this trade, it would be Kristaps Porzingis and James Johnson as a salary filler. He's on an expiring deal, so it's okay. And for Kobe White, Wendell Carter Jr., and Otto Porter, and he would pretty much just be a salary guy too, but, you know, Otto Porter's not that bad. And the reason why they would do this trade for the Mavericks side is, okay, we get Kobe White, we get Wendell Carter Jr., 2 young players for Porzingis, plus you get Otto Porter, who you can maybe re-sign or let go. And honestly, I think the Bulls might have to throw in a pick or something else in here too. It'd probably be that stuff plus stuff. Like, I don't know what else it would be. Like I said, I didn't really want to dive in too much into it because I really don't think the Porzingis trade will happen. But I do want to talk about it. And for the Bulls side, they just get Zach LaVine another guy. You know, he hasn't had a real star on the Bulls, so to say screw it, their veterans have been playing really good for them all season. So they bring in Kristaps, another star, and another veteran, James Johnson. The only reason they would go for this is if they want to go for the playoffs right now. And they're like, okay, we're going to have 2 young stars that are really good, probably good enough to make the playoffs in the East. And they just go all in to be the 8 or 7 seed. Do I think it's the smartest move? No. But the Bulls may just be very, very, very hungry to get some wins under the belt, and maybe they just do it. Because honestly, Kobe White and Wendell Carter Jr. can be good, but they haven't shown me signs that they're going to be great. Like, I haven't seen signs that even those two combined will be better than Kristaps by itself. So, in my opinion, if you're looking at it from that perspective, it may just be better off just going ahead and get that second star, get it out of the way, and going ahead and gamble on it, man. But at the end of the day, I just don't think this Kristaps Porzingis trade will happen. Maybe in the offseason, if Kristaps plays out the rest of the season, if he gets hurt again, or if they have another disappointing playoff run, or even if they don't make the playoffs, then they might be like, okay, Porzingis, if you're getting paid $30 million a year and you're not really bringing us too much, we might just have to move on. It was cool having you here for a couple years, but we didn't know you're going to be bringing that injury baggage. And we got a generational talent right here in Luka Doncic, and we just don't want to risk messing that up. So, hasta la vista, baby. But that's all I got time for y'all today. If you like the video, go ahead and hit that like button, and also subscribe down below. It's that little red button down below. You know, just go ahead and hit it. I appreciate it a lot. But anyways, man, peace out. See y'all later.